Hello dear fans. How Aristotle influenced science. Aristotle is one of the most prominent ancient Greek philosophers, who not only created an extensive philosophical system, but also influenced the formation of many scientific areas: sociology, logic, physics, chemistry. His writings were used for centuries after his death. Aristotle's teachings. Aristotle was born in 384 BC in Stagira. His father was the doctor of the Macedonian king, whose son later invited the future philosopher to instruct the young Alexander the Great. Aristotle studied under Plato, and after parting with his pupil, he founded his own school, the Lyceum, which he headed for about 13 years. During this time, the philosopher wrote several major works: Metaphysics, Physics, On the Soul, Ethics, Poetics, Organon, History of Animals, and others. Most of his treatises are devoted to philosophy, despite the various titles. Philosophy in ancient Greece was the science of being and studied all phenomena in life. Aristotle distinguished three of its directions: poetic, theoretical, and practical. He argued that all things consist of two principles: matter and form. Matter is a substance that makes up something, and form is an idea, an active principle that organizes matter. At first, his reasoning was characterized by dualism, but later Aristotle became a follower of idealism and believed that form dominates matter. Aristotle believed that in any science, research should be carried out with the study of single things, with the help of sensory perception. He was a supporter of induction, the movement from the particular to the general, but warned against jumping to conclusions. Aristotle delved deeper into metaphysics, explaining being by four reasons: material, formal, goal, and driving. Aristotle's influence on the development of science. The views and teachings of Aristotle were appreciated not only during his life, but also centuries after. He was respected by the Arab philosophers of subsequent centuries. The scholastics of the Christian Middle Ages treated him with reverence, and the humanists who rejected the scholastic doctrine appreciated his works even more. Aristotle is considered the godfather of physics. His treatise Physics laid the foundation for the history of this science, although most of its content relates to philosophy. Nevertheless, he correctly defined the tasks of physics: to investigate the causes, principles, and elements of nature, that is, the basic laws, principles, and fundamental particles. Aristotle laid the foundations for the development of chemistry, with his teachings about the four elements: earth, air, water, and fire. The pre-alchemical period in the history of this science began. The ancient Greek philosopher suggested that each beginning is a state of primary matter, but it has a certain set of qualities. This idea began to develop later in the Middle Ages. Aristotle had a tremendous influence on logic. He studied deductive conclusions, described the logical laws of contradiction, identity, and the excluded third. This scientist made a particularly great contribution to philosophical science, defining the views of the Middle Ages and modern times. He also influenced the development of psychology, economics, politics, rhetoric, aesthetics, and other areas of scientific knowledge. His works were translated into Latin, Arabic, French, Hebrew, English, and other languages. Thanks for watching.